Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Let's not waste any time. Let's start the trial of Maggey Byrde. Wow, this is her second time, third time in court. Oh, my goodness. This girl can't catch a break, you know? Wow. Anyways, let's get started. Alright, so we're back in the good old lobby room. Here we go. Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor. Maggey! Detective Gumshoe, are you doing all right? How are you feeling? As if you need to ask either question, sir. Don't let him get you down, Maggey, and don't forget to eat well, okay? Roger. And you, yes? You better square this case. Yeah, I think that's what it said. I better square this case away. Got it, pal. Maggey's innocent. You hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. Seriously? I think he's serious. Hey, detective, you're on our side for once, right? Yup. So you'll be able to help Maggey out, right? Really? Can you, sir? Oh, of course. I've got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the standby, on stand today. If something I say that doesn't mesh with the facts, make sure you point it out, alright? Sure. Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You get me? In the anime, well, Maggey is really upset with Gumshoe. Yeah, they kind of changed it around, happy to see you, but in actuality, Maggey isn't on speaking terms with Gumshoe. I forget if this applies to the game. But from the get-go, in the anime, Maggey is not on good terms with Gumshoe because of what's happening. I've always admired you so much, a detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should go all pretty smoothly today, huh? I can only wish. Alright, here we go. We are now in the courtroom. Let the trial begin. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggey Byrde. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh my goodness, the volume on my end is like super loud. Byrde. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Well, what's wrong? Nothing. It's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You talking to me?" It was a little, well, intimidating. No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix. I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? Our trusty? Does this judge think that Phoenix has like some sort of multiple personality? Anyways. So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please. Mr. Trite, whether you're a fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today. But I can already tell you, I'm the real Phoenix Wright. I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's when I intend to find out. There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another. Like I said, we'll get to that later in the game. As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for another irrelevant testimony during this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial. I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said. Trust me. Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness. I summoned a Detective Gumshoe in attack mode. Let's start with the formality, shall we? Name and occupation. Witness, state your name for the court. Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. The name's Police Department, a Detective, occupation, Dick Gumshoe. And this guy's nervous. Other way around, Detective. Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of this case, sir. Well, since yesterday, sir. Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation's tied up with another case now. I hope Gumshoe's really got everything under control, for everyone's sake. I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of this case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elg. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Inc., a local company. This is the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts this into evidence. Alright, so we get our next piece of evidence, Glenn's autopsy report. Let's have a look-see at it before we move on. Alright. Let's see. Glenn's autopsy report. Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m. Oh my. Potassium cyanide poisoning. Anyways, here are the floor plans of the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. Now, notice the V on the map. The poisoned coffee was brought over to him by the waitress. The waitress being the accused? Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At that time of the incident, there were two other people in the restaurant. Mr. Jean Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo. It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Alright, so we get the Tribune floor plans. This guy knows how to chug a coffee. Big time. Come, detective. Let's take up this hammer. And the nail of the defendant's coffin shut with your own two hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony. Yes, sir. Alright, here we go. Testimony number 1. The incident. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elk, was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup. And what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And it looks like Miss Byrde might have, well, some kind of motive. Yeah, on the part where it says when the incident took place, I'm gonna press on that. Using the dark, aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison? Classy lady. The facts... sorry. The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would like to ask you to begin your cross-examination, but... Yes? Please, no intimidation tricks of this time around. Is that understood? Oh, for crying out loud! I already told you that wasn't me! Alright. The incident. Well, cross-examination time. Alright, so where it says when the incident took place, the victim was alone at his tables. Sir, let's press. Can I stop you for just a minute? Huh? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? He's so desperate for that to be true. He's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Byrde. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said, and I... What killer would say that when faced with a homicide conviction? Hey! Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, it's true. There are two testimonies tie up on that. They both said that there was no other guy at the table. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Well, of course, we need more info. Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscure in some way. That argument is as weak as the coffee at Tribulations, trite. I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me. Yes, a one-way ticket to Guiltyville. Population, the defendant. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place. Correct? Oh, it was the judge's dialogue. My bad. I think the court will agree that with such a clear view of the scene, how, Mr. Trike, could anyone have overlooked a second person at the table? It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. Alright, so we get another piece of evidence, the crime photo. Alright. So I'm also going to press on traces of poison. Here we go. So, traces of the poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else? Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid? Or was it a powder? If you already seen the opening for this case, you already know that it was a powder. So basically, we the audience know that it's a powder. But, you know, the characters do not. Ow, I hit myself on the table. If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance. So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper, oregano? Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee cup, in your coffee trite? The victim took his coffee black with no sugar. It seems that the poison could only have been in the coffee. What should I do? Should I press on this point? Well, yeah. Always ask for more info. Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee? Huh? What do you mean? According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it? Oh, hey, you're right. That's what I think. In case you were wondering, that last objection was for the detective there. Huh? For me? Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, you have the time to present that piece of evidence. That piece, sir? Yes, that piece. What piece was it again? This! Should I be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me a first-degree burns? Man, Phoenix, you do know how to take pain, especially when it comes to hot coffee like that. You have my respect on that. Oh! Now I remember! This is the victim's coffee cup. Yes, the victim's cup. Take a good look at the rim. Oh, yes, it's unmistakable. There's clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in this cup. The victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought to him, like this. That guy sure knows how to chug a lug. For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants. Alright, so we now get a new piece of evidence, the coffee cup. Alright, let's keep on pressing for more. Upon further investigation on this cup, we found a certain chemical substance. And what we found is potassium cyanide that really packs a punch. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna press right here. Some kind of a motive? Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion. You know what my golden rule is? Sorry, excuse me. You know what my golden rule is, detective? Chuck out a bad cup of coffee. You can always get another. Huh? I don't get it. I'm saying, we can always get another witness on the stand if we have to chuck you out. So stick to the facts, detective. Now then, what was Miss Byrde's motive? Come on, Gumshoe. She was... they said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday too. It disappeared from the scene of the crime. And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000. Yeah, no, the word the dollars wasn't in there, but it's it's what it is. Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one. Then is it possible Maggey stole the winning one? What should I do? It's the same question, but yeah, let's press for more info. Wait a minute. The mere fact that the ticket disappeared is in no way implicates my client. I have here in my hand the very ticket in question. That's the $500,000 ticket. One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. What? Order! Order! She's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress. You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately. I better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. And thus we get the victim's lottery ticket. The winning ticket that's worth $500,000. This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial too. But it feels heavier somehow. $500,000, you say? It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. I bet he wants to say it was found on Maggey's person. That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which she is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond a reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit this crime. I like an old man who knows the score. There is also the matter of the $500,000 ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules. I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren call of money. Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggey is starting to pile up fast. Yeah, that's because the court had ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance with one final decisive piece of evidence. He's got more evidence against Maggey? This is the apron the delightful Miss Byrde was wearing at the time. Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've seen. That stain looks like it can't be blood. Can it? Huh. It seems the star of our play was a little flustered and somehow spilled coffee on herself. Yeah, there's a weakness to that mask. More on that later. The coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more. Something else? I presume you mean... Of course, I'm referring to the pocket. The pocket? A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide, the very poison used by the killer, was in her apron pocket. A bottle of poison in Maggey's pocket? Yeah, and Maggey's prints were the only ones on it. What? Wow, things just keep getting heavier and heavier. Just wow. Order! 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 The court will accept these items into evidence. Alright, so we get more pieces of evidence. The apron. And of course, the potassium cyanide. Oh boy. There's still something bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstains to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me about a bloodstain. You don't need to be told. Just look at it. Well, detective, could this stain really be blood? No way, sir. It's just ketchup, sir. Ketchup? She must have gotten some on her apron while taking someone their breakfast that day. You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe. Pull a stunt like that again and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness. I thought everyone knew that it was already. I haven't seen anything yet to make my doubt of the last verdict I ruled on this case. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence. They have all been clearly established. Well, Trite. It seems you really are a phony after all. You really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there. Alright, testimony number 2. The investigation. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by kind of a scary old man, sir. Poor Maggey had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him. But we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggey was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court that you're a real lawyer, Trite. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one. So let the fun begin. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the victim. Didn't have any ID or identification. Here we go. Let's press. He didn't have any. Are you saying that it was stolen then? No, I don't think so. The victim didn't have a driver's license or even a credit card on him, pal. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet. 58 cents? Yeah, I can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal. The victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man. Or some kind of outlaw. Why not give him a bit of an edge? I think I'm onto something here. I'm gonna press on this next piece of statement here. Wait a sec. Huh? Did I say something dumb again? Let me paraphrase what you just testified to this court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes? Yeah, basically. In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly? Oh, that. He's so let down. He's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes thing going. There was a prescription bag on the victim's table, along with the lottery ticket. It seems Mr. Glenn Ilg visited his doctor before he went to Tribulations. We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds. That's a reliable enough source for the court. What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask for more? Let's ask about that prescription bag. So, what sort of medicine was in that bag? Well, actually, the bag we found was empty. Huh? Yeah, completely empty. It was completely empty? Alright, so we get another piece of evidence, the victim's prescription bag. Huh. You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence? Desperate are you, trite? Now, what happened with the investigation after that, detective? When Maggey was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. You see, and that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. He mentioned a prescription bag, so let's present that. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There is just one small contradiction in your testimony. Oh, finally! I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will ya? You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Tribulations. Where then did the medicine disappear to? You are too... Oh, wait, what did he just say? I didn't skip anything. Indeed. Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh? The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself. Order! Order! Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say about to that? That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New Ear Otterella. I'm not gonna bother. Basically, ear doctor. There you go. I guess I'll try. New Ear Otolaryngological Clinic. Otolaryngological? Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot? Like I said, there are some words that I can't pronounce. Well, most big words, actually. Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war, you could say. A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Elk found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? It mentioned in the autopsy report, if you read the fine print, they found traces of medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, here it is, in very, very fine print. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. Therefore, it would have been absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all. No. Nick, if you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over. She's right. But I can't get away with any old weak objection. What should I do? Let's push the medication issue. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal. That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth. You know as well as I do that a medication is irrelevant. It hardly seemed likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. That's enough. Mr. Godot, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godot? I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder. Victor Kudo? The pigeon hater? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems a little more than trivial at best. Oh, if you only knew. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial. And that is something that bothers me. Yay! Good job, Nick! The court will adjourn for 10 minutes. For a 10-minute recess. After which, we will hear the prosecution's next witness. Huh. I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess. Whew. We're not done yet, so... back at the lobby we go. Phew! That was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line, sir! No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. It looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe a Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me. But he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggey. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right? Hey, no one is above the law, Maggey. Just because he's a detective, that doesn't mean he has to be on your side the whole time. No one is above the law. Sometimes you have to have the evidence and put the pieces put all those evidence, like puzzle pieces, and put them together and see how they fit. So there's no playing. Basically, Gumshoe wants to play favorites, but at the same time, he can't. He can't. It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. There it goes. Now we're entering the part where he doesn't want to speak to him anymore. So yeah. Because in the anime, that part it starts right from the get-go, no matter what. Poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right? Yeah. Mr. Kudo, lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. I bet he's gonna be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know? Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to handle him? Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me. Even those never-ending bird seeds. Alright, back in court we go. Hold on one second, I'll be right back. So, cut. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so, here we go. Let the trial resume. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggey Byrde. Mr. Kudo, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation, if you don't mind. My name's Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Keep in mind, like I said, this game takes place in Japan, not LA. Can't stress this enough. I know everybody knows about that, but, you know, for localized purpose, they had to change it. It's a good reason, don't get me wrong. Though, I mean, they could have changed some stuff, but, oh well. What you see is what you get. Honor and duty are what make me, mind you. I can be quite emotional at times, too. We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? Listen, youngin. How much call do you think there is for kimono in embroidery here? Kimono embroidery? That's what I do, or did back in Japan. I embroidered a family crest on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed. Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe he could embroider my costume sometime. Anyway, I like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. Now then, witness, were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of Javachino. Seeds? What do you think these are? I see. So you saw everything that happened, Gramps. Did I? Oh yes. Oh yes, I did. I saw it all. Then please tell the court. Oh, sorry. Then please tell the court. We're all ears. Sure. I'll tell you. I'll tell you every last detail. He's really getting into this. Alright, here we go. Oof. Let's see. What I witnessed. And I lost my count how many testimonies, so I'm gonna forget the whole thing. The young man was reading the sports paper. The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in pain, in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. I think he only saw her backside. Yeah, seeing that image, he only saw the girl's backside. Anyways, let's keep going. Mr. Kudo, she is not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. You're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones, Newfangled? All this talk of radios and glasses. It's wireless and spectacles, I tell ya. Excuse me. Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna press on the part where it says serving girl. Here it is. I'm gonna press on it. Mr. Kudo, that is a very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw? Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I thought every T and cross every I. I see. My eyesight's fine. A doctor said I only need spectacles for reading and driving. I bet his eyes are only really fine when he's scoping out a waitress. And I saw what that serving girl put into the Javachino as well. I bet I know what's coming up, and something tells me I'm not going to like it. But I still have to press for more information. Your Honor, we need more clarification on what was put into the victim's coffee. I'd like to ask that the witness add what he knows about this to his testimony. I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Let's press on that. Did she really put that into the coffee? You doubt me, boy? She took some of a small brown bottle and sprinkled it in it. Sorry. Couldn't she have been adding sugar? Sugar in a small brown bottle like that? Like that? Witness, could you describe the bottle in more concrete terms? A bottle like this, perhaps? Oh, there it is. That's the one. That's the bottle of potassium cyanide, I presume. So, what did the accused put into the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you? Alright, let's continue on with this little cross-examination again. Let's see. Let's press on this one. You said, I remember her well, in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace. That's what it is. Sorry. You can see all the way up to her, you know, she's practically naked in that uniform. So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could wear just... But anyone could wear just such an uniform. Even me. Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image. Don't get all excited, Nick. You've got to keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away, and indeed you did. Too much info, though. There are other things I recognize about her, too. He seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Let's press for more info. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress was Maggey Byrde or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you don't recognize about the other defendant, I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair, and her apron's straps were loose. Loose, you say? Let's press. You do seem to remember several details about her appearance, but what about the most crucial detail of all? Her face. As if I would remember that. The witness noticed the straps on the accused's apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right. I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red. So you see, there's nothing wrong with a witness's eyesight. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? Should I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow. Let's ask about the waitress's back. The identifying feature you described are all things you would see from the back. So what? It is possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all.
Objection.
He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is harassment! I tell you, I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw. Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features you observe from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure. This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. No kidding. No kidding at all. And if I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. There wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. Not even this? The apron? Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this. That filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I haven't. Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that? Well, you half-witted clot. Yeah. He only witnessed the backside of the girl, but not the front. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but What? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron. Is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning? Mm-hmm. And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means if you had really seen this apron before... yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front! Oops. Witness! You can't just say oops. I'm sorry. You can't just oops your way out of this. Well, well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Tripe. Here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggey Byrde. Exactly. And when that one witness put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of this situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot what a burger a customer wanted. He can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out. Very well. Let's test just how good your memory and attention to details is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim. Alright, here we go. About the victim. He was another one of those pesky young types, wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the serving girl in question brought over the Javachino. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. Oh yes, I hate those, you know what types who are so vague about everything. How are we going to handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose. But it's what I do best. So something got me where it says the little fidget. So let's go there. Let's see. No, not this one. The old man was late to the wireless. Then the serving girl brought over this. Here we go. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. Wait. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. Let's take a look at the coffee cup before I present it. Let's see. The coffee contained potassium cyanide covered in the victim and Maggie's fingerprints. Let's present it. Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? that this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory. I know. There's nothing wrong with my with my memory. I tell you, nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Care to tell us where this is going, Trite? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking with his free hand, which would make that his left. What is this, kindergarten? But I would like the court to, I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? Yes, and on the rim, you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips. Yes, there is a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup with his right hand. Oh, it is. It's true. Cause if you're gonna hold the cup from the right hand, that's where the stain will be. But if you drank it from your left hand, the stain will be on the other side. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Ah! Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the part. Wait! If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony? That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. Isn't that a dead young hotbot and you spiky-haired yahoo who are at fault? Who, me? Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man, old man. I've been around here for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but sure, why not hear a little more? Mr. Kudo? But this is my 16th cup of coffee, so this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking at the clock right now, so it's almost lunchtime. Well, for me, that is. Alright, here we go. Left hand or right hand? Last statement. Last testimony. Here we go. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling it with just before he picked up the cup too, and then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. We call that a scouter. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers. We still call it a scouter. A monitor? You mean like a television screen? The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work. HD TV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw, and I'm telling the truth. It's true. He doesn't seem to be lying. And those are the facts in good old black and white. Yeah, this guy is very, very old school. Alright, so something caught my attention. In the words, he was fiddling. I forgot the rest. So I'm gonna head there. Here it is. He kept fiddling it. Oh, no. That was the other one before he picked up. Yeah, here it is. This is the one before he picked up a cup. So I'm going to present. Switch. Glenn Elg. I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observations of the victim. What? You say that he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. I could only see the other side of his head from where I was sitting. I don't think so. What did you say? You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo. But the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured. Eh? Traces of... excuse me. Excuse me. Traces of a medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right. It's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear. Is that true, Captain? It is. Pigeon! Pretty pigeon! Order! 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 This witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the oh my goodness. He only saw the waitress from behind. And he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot, a single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man, he played one. I'm just kidding. This old man is my drop of milk. Captain, are you calling me a drip? This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows the victim picked it up with his right hand. I'll never back down. I know I'm right. The lad drank his Javachino with his left hand. Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup and held it in his right hand, and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw. Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee. Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The fact still stands. With one hand or the other, Mr. L drank the poisoned coffee. Like this. It was a sip, not a chug. A sip. There's a difference between a sip and chugging. Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. The point of this the testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory was credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless. I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied with the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce. Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old fogy! I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo. You can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned. Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you? Mr. Kudo? Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there, I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now. Finally, you're getting the picture. How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do. I've kept my mouth shut until now, but there's something else the court should know. What? There's more? To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything, but I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark. Me? He's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun. Well, everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook. Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee. What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the coffee you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man. That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony. You bet. Much, much quicker. I can't believe this is happening. You better get ready, youngster. I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? He's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds. Alright, this time for realsies. Last testimony. The final showdown. First of all, I want to stress that... Sorry. First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure of myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javachino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down, hmm? Is that all? Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. Eh? You're doubting me again? You're doubting a poor defenseless old man? No, we are not doubting Mr. Kudo. Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah. So what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine this guy. You're a bird brain. That's why that's all you can think of. Very well. Mr. Wright, your final cross-examination, please. Alright, here we go. Last one. The part where it says, well, the clumsy idiot kind of struck me there. Alright, let's see. No, not that one. Here we go. The clumsy idiot, you know, hit the vase and all. Let's present the crime photo. This one. Yeah, as you can see, the vase never fell. Alright, let's go back and present. Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene. So what? Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact. Huh? Lost your tongue, Granddad? I'm no granddad of yours, Hopscotch. Ow! Ow! Enough! If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be... What is it now? I just remembered something. Yes? Go on. The broken vase. It was on my table. What? Well, you see... It startled me when the young lad collapsed. So I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean. A vase on your table? Yes, it was on my table. And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked. Silence. Complete silence. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You've certainly earned your kudos for today. I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all? Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo. Wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Oh, yes, I remember something else. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom. Wait, listen to me. And he's gone. Alright. Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked. And I am still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the witness in question. Additionally, there are two disparities in the testimony we have heard thus far. The mark on the coffee cup the victim supposedly drank from with his left hand. And the earpiece which was inserted into his left ear, out of which he couldn't hear. Wow, Nick, you did it! I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts. Yes, Your Honor. There is one more thing before I call today's session to an end. One more thing, Your Honor? The witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that his testimony should be of use. So he summarized it into this statement. Okay. You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that. I don't know about that, Godot. Godot's really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too. Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Godot. Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry, this isn't a piece of testimony, more like a 5-year-old's apology. Yeah, let's take a look at that anyways. Alright, so it said, when the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. We'll get back to this evidence later. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies? That is all. This court is adjourned. And there we go. That's it for the first trial. So next time we meet, we go for the last investigation. So until then, everyone, take care and God bless. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and share with all your family and friends. If you're enjoying my content, consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to click that bell to receive notifications for new videos. Take care, and God bless.